What's up guys, Steve here again from RC Tanks and Trucks 24/7. I have something new and unique to the channel. This is a hit and miss engine from Eachine, the upgraded model. The link's in the description when you go check it out. It's not RC, I know that, but it's cool. I really like these type of models that actually work, perform, and based on the real thing. Now these hit and miss engines were used in like machinery, farm work and all that kind of stuff, I think in the late 1800s to the middle, like 1930s. So they actually were used in society, and I think there are probably still see a few examples around today. So it's a 4-stroke engine. It runs on Zippo lighter fluid, or that's what I've been using, and it actually works, and it's just like the real thing, like the prototypical hit and miss engine. Very easy to use. It comes like this. I'll show the quick unboxing next, and then we'll obviously show you how it runs, but it's pretty cool. How cool is that? It should be laying flat, but how cool. How awesome is that? I love it. So cool. I'm a big kid, but if you're interested, keep watching. Unbox it. I'll show you what you need to do to get it running, which is hardly anything, and hope you enjoy the video. Alright, it does come in a nice box obviously, and it does also include this nice foam extra padding there. That's pretty thick, doesn't get damaged in shipping. And there is the unit there. We'll have a look what else we get. A piece of fuel tubing and some instructions. That's interesting. So some instructions. Here is the main unit itself. What we'll do, we'll take it out of the out of its carcass. Foam. You know, they're fairly delicate, these guys. It is a working motor, and it does have timber as well, so we'll put it aside. Quickly, some specs on the motor. Hopefully that's what this guy tells us, some info about it. Now these guys are a 4-stroke motor, and they were mainly used, well the real ones were mainly used, you know, in the late 1800s into mid 1930s and stuff like that. Mainly farming equipment and machinery, you know, heavy industry, stuff like that. You don't see them in a car anymore. But here we go. So hit and miss engine. So 1800 by 125 by 125 gives you dimensions. Displacement, a whole 6cc, cylinder diameter 22 millimeters, itinerary 20 millimeters, okay, and 1.6 kilos or 1600 grams. Now basically gives you a little bit of specs here. Now the fuel that people use are just Zippo lighter fluid. So this is just 125 ml of Zippo lighter fluid. You get that from like a tobacconist. I'll do these steps as we go through it. Okay, so let's have a closer look. As you can see, well, from first impressions, it does seem like it's really well made. This is the updated model. The original one I think was blue, and there was some issues with the reliability of it. But apparently this one, in this upgraded model, has been addressed. So as you can see, hit and miss engine. So it is a 4-stroke. Has a spark plug here. The timing system, there's a small magnet that's embedded in this little disc here, and it passes through just this system there, and that runs through under the box here, and that's where the ignition system is held, and it requires 3 AA batteries. But it is a 4-stroke engine. As you can see, you have your connecting rod, your underneath you can see the backside of the piston just in there, your crankshaft, 2 massive flywheels on either side to keep that momentum going. Now these were used in the, I think, late 1800s, early 1930s, you know, in farming equipment, some heavy machinery and stuff like that. So it's a good representation of the real thing. Now hit and miss engine, it gets that name because it doesn't fire continuously. If it's under load, it will fire, but it'll fire and then it'll kind of coast and fire again, and that governor system is here through this system here with these 2 spring-loaded weights. Now these weights will come up, and when they expand, it's hard to see. This little mechanism you can see there, it expands, right? And it pushes against this little rod. Now this rod actuates the exhaust valve. Now when it's closed like that, it'll spark. It'll get combustion and push it back. But once it gets enough speed, it will just coast. And then when it slows down again, bang, 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 open up again. It's got compression there now. And once this governor system pushes against this rod, it'll just freewheel. It just spins. See? And then when it slows back down again, it closes and keeps hitting. That's why you hear it hit and miss. But when it's on the load, it normally just continually stays closed like that, and it'll sound like a normal engine. When it's just idling, you hear it go bop, 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 and just spin and then hit. A couple more ignitions, and then yeah, opens and closes. So it's a pretty unique motor. There's much better videos on the net explaining the system works, but that's basically it. As you can see the little valve opening and closing just like that as I spin it. So that's what this mechanism here, that's its little governor system. Just like that, you can see it opening and closing. But when it's running, I'll zoom in and have a close look at it. So this chamber up here is a water cord, so you can open this up, fill it with water if you like, and if you're running it continuously, you want to just let it go so it doesn't heat up the cylinder, because there's no real lubrication there as well. You want to just, you know, kind of get some oil around there, around these joints. But they are ball bearing as well, so it's not like it's going to just seize up on you. But probably you can use this like 3-in-1 oil here. That'll probably do the trick. If you're going to continuously run it, every now and then, that's probably be fine. But you have your cylinder, you have your two valves up there. There's your exhaust valve. There's another valve there. Look at that nice little spring loaded system here. Cylinder head, spark plug, ignition system underneath, fuel tank, and you just use, I've heard that people recommend just Zippo lighter fluid, carburetor just here. I'll leave everything in stock and see how it runs on the first time. And that's why you get that extra bit of fuel tubing, because when it gets shipped, it gets creased and stuck up in the shipping and in the foam, and it gets creased. So we'll just cut some new tubing and leave it as that. But that is pretty sweet. Here's your on and off switch for the ignition system. And on that note, the ignition system is under this nice little pine box, and it requires 3 AA batteries. I heard somewhere that's saying that it runs better on 2 with a blank in the middle. I'm not too sure, but we'll leave everything stock. There is your wiring underneath there, and this is your actual ignition system, all potted there and epoxied in there, so nothing is going to get damaged. But what I'll do, let me get 3 AA batteries in there, fix that fuel tubing, and we'll see how it runs. Okay, I've filled up the little fuel tank there with the Zippo lighter, and should be ready to go. Now the carburetor needle screw should be 1/4 out. If you're having problems starting it, screw it all the way back in and just turn it 1/4 out and kind of work your way from there. But let's go. Flick the switch on, and now it should be ready to go. Quick spin on the wheel. This direction, ready, set. Pretty cool, eh? Okay, so I just ran out of fuel before, so I quickly filled it back up. And on that note, the best thing to use is like a little syringe. Kind of get down in that hole and give it a good squeeze, because sometimes if you try to pour it in there, the liquid doesn't have enough weight, I guess, to go down the hole, and it can overflow. So, little syringe, that's all you need to do. Now I clamped it down to the side of the bench so I can actually get a little bit of a close-up without it bouncing around. So, flick it on, and should be good to go.
I love all these old school motors. I know it's not RC, but it's really interesting to me. And if you want to increase the revs and let it constantly fire under load, you rub your finger against the bottom of one of the wheels. So that's pretty cool, eh? So it's slowing down, so it needs to fire more to keep up the momentum. Sweet. If you run it for extended periods of time, you want to fill this up here, little chamber with water. But you know, for these purposes, it's not really that hot. I can leave my fingers on there, no worries. Not warm at all. But obviously, after every couple of runs, you want to just lube these spinning components up, the connecting rod, and you know the crankcase, the crankshaft down here as well. And these gears and stuff like that, just to keep everything in check. But apart from that, guys, what do you think? I think it's pretty cool, something different on the channel. And if you didn't notice in the background here, you might have seen this on the internet lately. This is a Toyan 4-stroke overhead cam engine. I'm going to be putting that in something, so keep your eyes out for that video. So it's a 4-stroke single cylinder overhead cam RC. Well, you can use it for RC, so I got 2 of these actually coming. I'll leave the link in the description for these as well. Actually, it's pretty sweet. You can get a water-cooled version and air and water-cooled version, but I'll leave the link in the description when you go check them out, and I'll also leave the link for this in the description for this guy as well. So I don't think there's anything else to say apart from, you know, it does get a little bit messy because they're moving parts obviously, and it'll spit up and stuff down here as you can see, but it just wipes off just like that. Not much to it really. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Would you like me to continue doing more of these models? If so, there are a lot of these I can get just for fun. They're good for, you know, conversation starters, good to have on the shelf. They look cool, and I like how they actually work. And well, I'm just really interested in this kind of stuff. But yeah, I know there's been some issues with some of these, and a lot of it's got to do with, I think, maybe the battery's a bit flat, the connection for the earth's maybe a little bit not secured correctly, or just as simple as this idle screw being too far or too in or too far out, making it too lean or too rich. What I found, my one, I made a little mark and I put it on a quarter, so one quarter out. But one more start before I end the video, and see you in the next one. Oh, come on, there we go. Thanks guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.